Hello and welcome to a new episode of The Collector, and hey, thanks for watching. Today I am doing a little bit of a different episode where I wanna mod my existing Game Boy Pocket. My Game Boy Pocket has a translucent case and I don't exactly like that, so I will swap the case with a gray, kind of like similar to the original Game Boy, but at the same time I will be putting an IPS screen. The story behind this is that one of my friends decided that they want to get back in the retro gaming scene, and she told me that she wants to play video games now. She wants to play just one video game, which is Super Mario Land 6 Golden Coins. And now she has a Game Boy Pocket, but she wants a Game Boy DMG, an original DMG. And even though she thought that that's the way she wants to play it, I came in and told her that you cannot play that like that. The screens are horrible. So let me take this project for you. I will help you get a original Game Boy DMG, and then I will mod it for you. I will put a new screen, I will put a battery in as well, a battery mod, and then you can play your Super Mario Brothers 6 Golden Coins in complete beauty. So what I told her is that I can transform that old Game Boy into something like the analog Pocket. But for her to trust me, I first had to take my old Game Boy, like I said, my old Game Boy Pocket, and do the mod myself and mod my Game Boy Pocket with the IPS screen and the new shell, which I did, and I will show you the process that I took to do that, and then we can compare to see that if this screen compares to the analog Pocket screen. I might have overshot a little bit when I said, okay, this will be exactly like the analog Pocket screen. Technically, I'm not sure that's possible, but I will probably come pretty close. So let's see the mod. Alright, so starting off, I've opened my case to see what I have got. So I carefully examine the case, and you don't need any trimming because of the case, because it's already trimmed. Took my original Game Boy, opened it up, and then examined those two to see what has happened. Careful here, you need a tri-wing screwdriver as well as a Phillips screwdriver to open a Game Boy. On the outside we have tri-wing. And also be very careful, I didn't know this, there are screws behind the battery case as well. Managed to take those out and it popped right off. And just a quick examination to see how they stack up together, but everything seems alright, so it's time to get the motherboard out. I got it out using the Phillips screwdriver, and then the one last bit that you don't have to forget is taking that ribbon cable out. You have to be patient and it comes right off. So that's the motherboard. Now I wanted to save this all this original stuff, as I want to save the original plastic and the original button. I do not want to use the new one. And here it is, my FunnyPlaying mod screen, and then I just took everything else out to see what it came with. So we have the screen, the glass screen, we have the adhesive and the LCD screen, and then there is also the ribbon cable with all the electronics on it and the touch. This one has the touch sensor attached straightly to it. It also comes with a wire and a second touch that I've been constantly figuring out what it does, but it does nothing, it's just an extra. So I tried to find out the pattern of the screen, but it's with that thing down, with the electrics down, and then decided to go the other route and first fix in the glass. But I run into a little bit of a problem here. The tape was coming out, but the residue was being left on the screen, so I couldn't exactly manage to get it out. Eventually I decided to peel the sticker out and then go in very carefully and try to get it out. So eventually it got out, and there you go, beautiful screen. Took the adhesive out and then just put it right in there. Time for the LCD, but I did a mistake here. I took the LCD screen protector off, but unfortunately I had to first do the sticker because it has to come with the adhesive. The adhesive has to go in first because the screen itself will get stuck on the adhesive. Done that, LCD now fits in, and then the button fits in as well perfectly. Use the old one and everything seems to be in order. Put the motherboard right back on. Fortunately, I forgot the cable, so had to stick that in, and then the motherboard came again back down. Now be very careful here because it did take a little bit of trial and error to fit that ribbon cable in. Eventually I did it using some tweezers. Then again, I don't know what that is for. That's just an extra. So then I decided to put the screws back on and do a little bit of a test. It worked good, and now it was time to use the soldering iron. This is one of the first times I'm using soldering iron, so it's gonna take a little bit of patience. I've carefully turned it around a few times and then decided that this is the right way. I soldered a few bits of solder on the point, and then I came with the cable, the small cable, and touched it. Again, solder, then put the cable right there. Eventually I managed to do that and put everything back together and give it a quick test. As you can see, it works really good, so I was really proud of myself. It's time to put it back together. Here is when I realized I did a mistake and I forgot to do something. I had to take it back out, and then there's a small adhesive tape that's on the back that keeps the ribbon in place. Did that, and also I put some electrical tape on the electrics so there's no short circuits with the motherboard. Now, put everything back together. This time I was confident that everything is gonna be alright. Give it another quick test, see if everything is alright. Everything seemed alright. Then I've decided to put some double-sided tape on the touch screen to see, and the touch ribbon to see if it works. And surely enough, it worked. But once I put it back together, unfortunately, it was too thick to go through both the double-sided tape and the case. So took it out, and I decided to go with a little bit of normal Scotch tape. I fitted that right in. Took a little bit of practice, but you can go slow and everything is gonna be alright. Put it back in, cross my finger, and surely enough it worked. I was very happy with this process. Everything is very messy here on my table because I didn't know exactly what I needed, but I eventually managed to mod it. And here it is, we see Donkey Kong there. The volume works as normal, the contrast acts as brightness, and then if you touch the top of the screen of the case, it will toggle among all the different ways it can output. It has, I think it has 36 different ways which you can enjoy. And here it is in all its beauty. I'm very proud of it. It's my first mod. Alright, so what did you think? There were a few ups and downs there with the mod. I gotta say that there were a few times where I had to stop the videos and go actually look to see, oh my god, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? And I had to rewatch videos on YouTube because not all of them show you exactly the problems that I ran into. Maybe some of them are just intuitive, but the foil peel, I didn't realize I had to do that. Again, on the back and everything else. So be sure to watch multiple videos if you are attempting one of these yourself. But the moment of truth is here. Let's see if this screen with the same game compares to the beautiful analog Pocket screen. Alright, so I got a similar theme here on both Game Boys. So as you can see, the analog Pocket screen is not much different, although it's way bigger, is not much different than the Game Boy IPS screen. I mean, they look really fantastic to me, but just this looks much smaller. Let's try to get in a little bit of a good shot there, And then I will be putting these side by side. I think that's a good comparison. Maybe the IPS screen has a little bit more color depth, but I'm not exactly sure. I feel they kind of the IPS, I think the Analog Pocket looks a little bit more bright, and this is the highest brightness settings for the Game Boy Pocket IPS screen. Let's have them side by side as well now. And just for comparison's sake, I've put it next to the Analog Pocket just to see how it is. And you can see it's a little bit brighter than the Analog Pocket, but I don't think the Analog Pocket was at 100% brightness. But that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, or at least tell a friend.